And another film is actually a DVD/Blu-ray release, which is out on Monday.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, the first one's VHS 2.
Right.
So I don't know if you've seen the first VHS.
I have not. I know the movie you're talking about, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's released simultaneously at the cinema, on DVD, Blu-ray, video on demand, and VHS, actually. So it is out there on videotape.
Really?
100 copies.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's old
copies.
school.
The first one was released exclusively in the UK on VHS. 150 copies were made, and then America decided to mourn, and so that they released them in a very small amount there. And now in the US, you can get the sequel on VHS as well as in the UK. No Betamax version, though, which is annoying. But with the first one, you had 5 stories, and then you had the wraparound story. With this one, they've decided to tighten it up, and you've got 4 stories instead, from directors which include Adam Wingard, which did Your Next, Eduardo Sanchez, Blair Witch Project, and Gareth Evans, who did The Raid, and he's busy shooting The Raid 2. And the stories are very simple. There's one which involves a guy who gets a camera implanted in his eye because he can't see properly, and he ends up seeing these ghostly figures. You've got a second story, which is a camera attached to a biker's helmet, and he gets bitten by a zombie, and you see him turn into a zombie, and everything's told from the zombie's point of view, so you see people getting ripped apart and panicking and stuff, which is nice. And then probably the most insane movie section of the movie is about a cult, and it's about these reporters who are going to investigate this cult. And trust me, it goes from very mellow to really hectic to completely insane to, oh my god, what the hell am I watching?
Excellent.
It's like if you're eating chilies, you go from the most mildest chili to decide to pick up a handful of the most hottest chilies and just shoving them in your mouth.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's nuts. And the final one was just a basic alien abduction movie, but it's a lot of fun. It's one of those movies where if you've got friends around and you want to watch a film which is going to entertain everybody, just bring this on, because there's loads of gore in it. It's an absolutely insane film for 90 minutes.
Okay, I love how your life is so crazy. It's like it's just your typical alien abduction movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another alien abduction.
Run of the mill.
Overall, so it's a good movie for basically a bit of a fun night. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Okay, what else have you got?
Curse of Chucky.
Okay.
Which is Don Mancini returning back to the Child's Play series.
Big fan of the Child's Play series. Well, big fan of the first 2, maybe part 4. What is it? How many is this? 6? Is this the 6th movie
6,
now?
yeah.
Yeah, 6th.
Okay, and how does...
I would actually classify this as part of the Child's Play series, not the Chucky series.
Okay.
Even though it's got Curse of Chucky in it. I think they're both 2 different series. They're sort of like trying to reinvent Chucky with Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky. Mm-hmm. And Don Mancini, originally this was going to be a remake, but because it was such a nightmare to try and get the rights to remake his own film that he originally created in the first place, that he decided to go with a sequel instead, sequel of sorts. So it's just a very basic storyline of a girl who receives this doll in the post, and then her niece starts playing with this doll, and the doll is Chucky, and he goes psycho on the family. And it harks back to the first 3, and it has that the feel of the first 3 as well, rather than going to the humour side of things. It's gone more to the horror side of things. You've got the comedy element to it, because Chucky is going to be a really bland character if he doesn't have the quips that he does. But it feels, so if you're a fan of the first 3, you'll really enjoy this one, more so if you're a fan of the previous 2 that were just released.
But really, though, does that work in this day and age? Like a killer doll? And the worst thing is, because it's not the first movie in the series, we've seen it before back in the 80s, for most of the movie, people are turning up missing. Is it the doll? Well, of course it's the doll, because we've seen all these movies before. The doll comes to life. There's a murderer inside it,
It's sort of, because it does have the feel of the first, the Child's Play series, but it also has the feel of the Chucky series. And Mancini says that if you look at a lot of films these days, a lot of horror movies, they're all remakes or reboots. And he's tired of seeing that kind of thing. He wasn't impressed with things like the Nightmare on Elm Street one or the Friday the 13th one. And you can definitely understand that, because they were really lazy remakes. And the films that didn't need remaking in the first place. So It does feel a bit stale at times, but you've got to give him a slight pat on the back for not going with the remake side of things and just making another Child's Play film, which feels like Child's Play rather than the Chucky series.
Well, I have to say you've piqued my interest because I'm a big fan of the first Child's Play movie. The second one I kind of liked. I really liked the third one as well. It was bleak. It was, it was pretty well filmed. This definitely, I'm interested now in this.
Yeah, because it does feel like he created this film after he did Child's Play 3, rather than after the Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky.
Is Brad Dourif back as the voice of Chucky?
Yes, he's never actually gone, so he's been in every one of the films.
Well, that's what I mean, but it's still him. He's still.
Yeah, they haven't done a Hellraiser and gone with a completely different guy. Which, by the way, I've seen Hellraiser Revelations. I watched that the other day. One of the worst films I've ever seen.
Shocker.
But yeah. Surprisingly, but yeah, they've stuck with him, and I'm glad that they have because it's a character which I don't think anybody else could play.
Yeah, no, because he's great. I've heard his daughter apparently is in this one as well.
Yes, she plays the girl in the wheelchair. She plays the lead actress in it.
Can she act, or was it just Daddy's got me in this movie?
She's not too bad. You definitely do feel for her with the being in the wheelchair, and it adds a bit more of an interesting element to the film because it's not somebody who's able to run away from Chucky really easily.
Uh-huh. Is she hot?
Yeah,
well, I suppose if she's, Brad Dourif's daughter.
Swinging, oh God. As long as she's not like Zoe Ball, who's basically Johnny Ball with long hair.
No, she's not like that.
Okay, right.
Not like Ball.
Okay, the other big movie this week, the one that I have seen, is Turbo from DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Which stars Ryan Reynolds as a snail, right? Yes.
Right, stay with us, people.
As a snail who wants to race, and then who wants to race racing cars. And I don't mean he wants to drive racing cars. He wants to get on the ground and run faster than racing cars.
I wonder what type of narcotics the people at DreamWorks were on whenever they came up with this one.
I know.
That's fantastic.
And here's the shocker. It's actually not bad. It's pretty funny. It's a ridiculous premise, so ridiculous, but it's got likeable characters. The animation is beautiful, and I went with my two kids, and you know what? I kind of enjoyed it.
The winner for all the family, then.
Yay! Pole position.
Well, careful now.
It wasn't bad. I kind of liked it. I have to say I was surprised because I really, it's one of those things where you're obligatory. You have to take the kids to see this movie, and
they're almost dragging you into the screen.
Yeah, and it might be that your expectations are because we almost Stuart went to see Justin and the Knights of Valor.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that definitely wasn't going to happen. And next week we're going to go and see Clarity with a Chance of Meatballs too. You know what? This isn't bad. I would recommend this. Not for. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone over the age of sort of 15 to just go and see. But if you've got kids or if you're looking to take the nephews or whatever, you'll be entertained. It is funny and the animation is really really good.
So it doesn't shift at a snail's pace.
There he is.
Right.
Moving on.
Sorry.
Okay, Stuart.
Had to be said.
What about Captain Phillips? Big Phil, our own Big Phil, saw Captain Phillips at the start of the week. His review's up and followingthenerd.com. You haven't seen it yet. Phil thought it was absolutely fantastic. He loved it.
Yeah, I was supposed to have seen it yesterday, but I couldn't because the fact that I bought a new TV and I had to lug that back home rather than going to the cinema. So it was either new TV or cinema. I think it's just a better option though, but I'm definitely going to see it after work tomorrow.
Oh, you're so selfish. It's all you.
I know. It has to be me.
Be an opera singer?
Right.
me.
Not with this voice at the moment, though.
Oh, I don't know. I think, it's quite midnight caller-ish. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. You're a through caller.
There's somebody behind you.
Hey.
The call is coming from inside the house.
There's people all over Banbridge freaking out right now.
Yeah. Is this the radio we're definitely listening to? What's your favourite scary movie?
I turned the radio off 15 minutes ago. Right. Sure. And let's be honest, who could blame them, right? Okay, Stuart, I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much, sir. As always, it has been a blast, and we look forward to talking to you next week. Before you go, where can people check out your excellent podcast with your partner in crime, Andy?
Well, it's excellent on my case, not with Andy, because he and ums and through it all. So I don't think he's actually listening to this, to be honest. If he is, he'll shout at
Let's
me.
trash him, come on.
Yeah, big man.
If not, I'll shout at him. So yeah, you can catch us at MondayMovieShow.co.uk, which is our website. The show goes up on Following the Nerd and live on a Monday at 7:30, and I normally put up the details on my Twitter feed, which is at Cryptic Tadpole.
All right, listen, go and get the old hot lemons and the hot water bottle. Get yourself into bed and feel better. All right.
Okay then.
Thank you, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Get well soon. Farewell.
Okay, of course, that was Stuart from the Monday Movie Show. Right. Stuart's a gag, isn't he?
Sorry, a gag. Yes,
He's a
yes,
gag.
he is.
He's a gag.
He's a gag.
Yeah.
Gag.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Star Wars fans. Big week for Star Wars fans. Week started off with Star Wars animated fans. Dave Filoni confirmed that the remaining episodes of Star Wars The Clone Wars, which of course bit the dust once Disney took over earlier this year, that the remaining episodes will be released early in 2014. But we don't know in what format. We don't know what way it's going to, is it
They're
going
not
to
going to be broadcast? Or
We don't know. We don't know.
Be released on home release?
Personally, I think they might go down the sort of, collected 3 or 4 episodes as a movie, maybe get 1 or 2 movies, kind of way. I think that's the way they're going to go. Right. But that's exciting because we knew that there's still a lot of stuff filmed and there are a few stories still up in the air. So we're looking forward to getting that. Star Wars Rebels, which of course we're excited about ever since Star Wars Celebration when they told us they were going to show us stuff and they didn't. We've been excited about that. We got our first look on Saturday. Have you seen this? Have you seen this?
Yes, I have.
Okay, of the Sith Inquisitor.
Yes.
Who is apparently going to be the big bad.
Badass.
Yeah. Because there was a lot of talk. It was nice to see so much positive, so many positive vibes going on online about this. Of course, it was revealed at the New York Comic Con, and he's a pretty mean looking character. He's got the black Sith garb. He's got the white bald head, like sort of Sith tattoos, the red eyes.
He's pretty much a weird mix between General Grievous, if he were a human, Darth Maul. And do you know that alien from Episode 3 where Obi-Wan lands on the sinkhole planet?
Utapai, yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of a weird mix of the 3 of those.
Yeah, he actually looks a lot like I don't know if I know you only watched a few episodes of Clone Wars, but he looks an awful lot like a character in the Clone Wars called the Sun. Okay. And he kind of looks like him whenever I saw him at first. So I mean, it's nice to know now that they are that far ahead, and we are going to get it in early 2014. So that's good. So we're going to get it, and we're going to get the Clone Wars release then as well.
No, it wasn't really like whenever I saw the Clone Wars, it wasn't really something that kind of pulled me into it, because I think it may have been the animation. It looks very cartoony. It looks like it definitely appeals to kids. But with Rebels, it looks like more of a family show. Okay. It looks like something I could really get into. I love the animation style. Right, okay. No, that it does. It looks pretty cool. Right, Anthony Daniels. He was also at New York Comic Con, and he made a boo-boo. Did he, though? I don't think he did. I think people are misquoting him here. Anthony Daniels is very often quoted as being the only person that was in all 6 Star Wars movies. Okay, I fell for this. I thought he was the only person that was on 6. But Kenny Baker was in all of them as well. Yes, as R2-D2. Was he, though? Was he in Episode 2? Yes, he was, because I didn't think he was. Because I thought R2-D2 was pretty much a robot in the prequels. Well, no, I know for a fact in Episode 1 Kenny Baker was in it. Okay. He was actually in R2-D2 for some of the Tatooine stuff. Right. And then it kept breaking down, so they had to keep bringing in the remote control version. Yeah, well, I agreed with you. I didn't think he'd done all the prequels. But we checked this out. I got into a bit of a debate on Facebook with our own Chris Williams. Right. Who said, no, you're wrong. I was quite abusive. And then, it was really depressing, because the more I checked into it, the more I found out I was wrong. Yeah. And Star Kenny Wars, Baker, feel the love. I know, yeah. So Kenny Baker was in all 6. But anyway, Anthony Daniels, he was talking at NYCC, New York Comic Con, about being in the Star Wars movies. Yeah. And he said, I've been in all 6 Star Wars movies, and then he says, of course, they did the Clone Wars movie and everything. And then he says, so I've been in all 7 movies. And of course, as you can imagine, the whole crowd went boom. Right? Now, firstly, on a couple of levels, that wouldn't make sense, because as we know, they haven't filmed the 7th movie yet. Yeah. So he hasn't been in that movie. I think he's talking about Clone Wars. I think he's talking about the Clone Wars movie. Yeah. I think because he played 6 movies C-3PO. And he was C-3PO in the Clone Wars movie. Yeah. I think it's as simple as that. Right, okay. But the fanboys, they're boogieing out about this. So that's what I think this is. Right, now, okay, the Graham Norton show. I don't get Graham Norton. Do you get Graham Norton? I try not to. Easy. Ruth, Graham Norton?
Again, I'm with Saxon on
Yeah,
that.
I don't get
doesn't appeal.
Graham Norton. He annoys me.
It's just the whole Harrison Ford Benedict Cumberbatch thing.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause I actually caught this.
Yeah.
Sadly enough.
Okay, I did too, because I turned it on and said, "Oh, Harrison Ford, I'm going to watch this."
Yeah, and then
so
Benedict Cumberbatch walks out.
let's play a wee bit